I'm back doubling down on what I said in my previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out, then come over to this one. I just want to preface this right away from the beginning also. It is not the end of the world. It is not a big deal. I understand that this fact or this thing, the situation that I'm talking about right here is not the determining factor of the overall story of Fallout. This is just one little detail that they are changing and making it a directional point in the pre-war sections of the Fallout TV show. And now going forward in the history of Fallout, that is being changed, that I kind of don't agree with or like, but a lot of people think has always been a thing since the beginning of Fallout, which is not true. So let me explain. I believe that it has been China from the very beginning that has dropped the bombs on the United States in Fallout, not Vault-Tec. Now with the TV show, what they basically confirmed to be true in the lore is that Vault-Tec are the ones who had bombed the United States, not China. And I get it. It has never been a thing. It's even said in like the Fallout Bible or something by Chris Avallone that no one knows who exactly dropped the bombs first. Was it United States or was it China? It doesn't even matter. The details don't really matter. Now we are in this wasteland, right? And that's where I understand that and I agree with it. But I think it's way better of a phrase to say war never changes when it's coming from, yeah, we got bombed by China. And also for me, it doesn't matter who bombed first, right? It matters to me that like we got bombed from a war and now we are in this Fallout scenario, right? But I feel like that's more of a impactful world building moment than instead of them going capitalism bad. It is, you know, really scary what companies can do. They are evil. We already know in real life that that is a thing. Like, we don't care. We want, I mean, maybe some people like that, but I mean, a lot of people really don't want to see that. I've seen it voiced so much by people that like, we don't want that. And I know that, I mean, the majority of people that saw my previous video do want that. I mean, they would like Vault-Tec to be the ones that bombed the United States opposed to China because there was a lot of backlash, which I get it and it's fine and I understand that. But also there was some backlash because there was a person in the Fallout community that made a massive video apparently making people think that Vault-Tec were the ones who did it, when the purpose of his video wasn't even to make you think that, and people probably just took it the wrong way. And let me explain. So the video is from Oxhorn, and let me start off by saying that I love Oxhorn. I love his content. He is an amazing content creator. He is the legendary, you know, lore guy when it comes to Fallout lore. So this is by any means no hate towards Oxhorn, and I will link to his video about this in the description also, so you can check it out because his videos are put together obviously way better than mine. He's an incredible content creator. So in my comments for the previous video, someone did mention that this guy posted a video with around 4 million views basically saying that it was Vault-Tec. So you're wrong, D-baller. And to that, I want to say no, you are wrong. He posted a video giving you the straight up facts, and then he did, which something that I do in my videos as well, is, you know, he'll present the facts, and then what he did was he showed theories as well, and the theories were alluding to maybe it could have been Vault-Tec. But at the whole beginning half of his video, he confirmed it was China. I mean, there's more concrete evidence to support that it was China who dropped the bombs than it was the Vault-Tec Corporation. It just makes way more sense. But it is also laid out in Fallout that if they really did want to go in that direction, there's not enough concrete evidence to flat out say, like, here's a video of a Chinese plane flying over and dropping a bomb. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of evidence that, you know, you could theorize, and then if they wanted to make it canon, they could work it in like they're doing with the show, that, yeah, okay, it is Vault-Tec that did it. So that was kind of the whole thing, the gist of his video, and obviously there's way more to his video, and once again, this isn't me bashing on his video. I just think a lot of people that saw my video and his video at the same time, you know, obviously my video didn't get that many views, but what I'm trying to say is people who saw both videos may have understood certain things the wrong way. Once again, he presented factual information showing that China were the ones who had bombed the United States. There's way more information backing that up. The submarines that came in that were detected by the US, the airplanes that were detected at nighttime or whatever, the defense systems that started to go up from the US, all of these different countermeasures, a lot of things that were at play at the time. Now, of course, he also did state in his video, it could have been that the Vault-Tec Corporation only nuked a couple places and then the rest were nuked by China. Of course, okay, sure. Maybe sure, okay, I'll reason with you there. Maybe Vault-Tec did drop some bombs, right, to get people in to sell them vaults. At the same time, I still find that kind of dumb. I think the smartest thing would just be that, like, in this whole alternate reality that the Fallout world is set in pre-war, I think it would just make sense that people would be like, hey, yeah, let's go reserve a spot in the vault because, yeah, we are on the brink of war. You know what I mean? I just feel like that would be motivation enough in this alternate world that we're living in, as opposed to Vault-Tec having to bomb their own country in order to whatever, though. But even still, that's just a theory at this point, even before, let's say, the show isn't even out yet, let's say. So there is more evidence at this point before the show came out that it was just China, though. The rest are just theories. Now, there was also a point in his video that he said that they, years ago, were going to make a Fallout movie. And in that movie, it was focused on that Vault-Tec did also have plans to drop the bombs. But once again, that was a movie that ended up getting scrapped. And so that wouldn't even make it canon. That being said, it does still seem like in the film version, the movies, the TV show, whatever, cinema world that we're seeing from Fallout, this is a narrative that they really want to show. They want to show that Vault-Tec actually were the ones to do this. And upon, I'm working on a lore video for one of the characters on the TV show, and upon watching back in one of the final scenes of the TV show, Cooper Howard does reinforce this fact. He says it again. He says, basically alluding to the fact that he was there at the meeting. He says to Lucy,
"There's always somebody behind the wheel, and that's who I want to talk to. That's where your daddy is headed."
But you let him go.
You want to know how I know your daddy, don't you? Let's just say that everything about your whole little world was decided over 200 years ago.
Right now, he's trying to track down Hank. And he already knows that Hank is from the pre-war, and he knows that Hank was the assistant to Cooper Howard's wife. And that is where Hank is going to be going. He is more than likely going to go find Barb in whatever cryopod she's in, more than likely, right? And that's where we see in the final scene, he's going to New Vegas, where in the after credits, it shows that, reserve your spot in a cryo suite on a billboard. And we already know that Hank was the one who nuked Shady Sands. It's a giant crater. It wasn't just some small little grenade that went off. There was a big, really big bomb that went off in Shady Sands. So it's just all of this stuff is doubling down, more tripling, quadrupling down on the fact that, yes, it was Vault-Tec. They keep pushing this narrative. And once again, I just want to say it's not the end of the world that they're changing this. I know, I get it. I'm just saying, from my own perspective, I prefer the fact that the war never changes statement seems way more impactful to me. And this video, once again, is off the top, no script. It's off the top, so that's why there's a little more passion in it. But the war never changes statement is way more of an impactful statement when in reference to the pre-war and the bombing, specifically when we're talking about how the bombs got dropped. It's way more impactful to say war never changes when we're talking about literal actual war compared to we're Vault-Tec and we're an evil corporation and we're gonna drop the bombs because capitalism. Dude. Me and so many other people don't care about it. And I'm sure people are going to hate on me for this. I get it, and that's fine. And also, people are going to get it twisted and think that I hate the show. Don't take it that way, man. I love the Fallout TV show. It is the greatest cinematic masterpiece I've ever seen. Or can I call it a cinematic masterpiece because is cinema just related to movie? I don't know, dude, I'm not even smart, okay? I'm not a smart guy, but it is one of the greatest, it is the greatest television show I've ever seen in my life, all right? Like, I genuinely love it. I know it gets a lot of hate. Like, I constantly see hate comments, in regards to it, which whatever. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Also, why are you watching stuff on things that you hate? That's a little weird to me. I don't do that, but hey, it's all good. Anyway, free will, right? But I just want to let it be known that I do love the Fallout TV show, like every aspect of it, even if it's a certain thing that I might not agree with, right? Like the fact that Vault-Tec is the ones who, they're the ones who drop the bombs, right? That's a narrative that is being pushed forward now. Once again, doesn't matter. It's even said that, right? In regards to US or China, we don't know who dropped the bombs first, but it doesn't really, the details don't really matter. I get it, right? It's just the fact that we're seeing more of an emphasis now with the TV show on pre-war. We're finally getting that, right? We had some hints, we had some glimpses at that in the games, but right now in the TV show, we're really seeing a lot of pre-war content, which a lot of us really wanted. A lot of us Fallout fans wanted pre-war content, a lot of it, because the pre-war aspect of Fallout is very, very interesting. Like it really is. It's so intriguing. And the fact that now we're finally seeing it, but in my opinion, it's changing things, and the way that I really saw Fallout, it's really changing a lot of a view, a specific view that shaped my thoughts on the pre-war of Fallout. It's, you know, they're changing that detail. It kind of rubs me the wrong way in that sense, but at the same time, if that's the way that it's going to go, I get it and it's fine. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to rip my hair out over it. It is, I will say, it is a topic that I did want to discuss, and I wanted to talk about it, and I'm going to make a video on it. I create content and I get my thoughts out there, and I don't think I've ever done a video this like raw and just like off the top of the head, really ever. I usually script my videos out and whatever, and it is what it is. And I don't expect this video to do good at all, and I don't expect it to get any likes. I expect it to get a lot of hate because a lot of people seem to disagree with me on this topic, and that's fine, because once again, like people have said, the details don't really matter, and that is okay, and I understand it. And people probably clicked off right at the beginning anyway, and they're gonna just see it, dislike it, and leave a hate comment. That's fine. What I'm trying to say is, my point is, I don't hate the show for this, I just don't really like the direction and change, because it's weird. I see Vault-Tec as the bad guys of the underground, the people who are, honestly, yeah, they're the pre-war bad guys in a way, but they're not the pre-war bad guys that I expected them to end up being, like the overall supervillains, right? I saw China as the original bad guys, and then Vault-Tec were the bad guys in the sense of like they were gonna get you for your money because they had to get you into the vault, so they were gonna screw you that way, and then once you got into the vault, you were screwed because you were, you know, had all these evil experiments happening to you, but if you got lucky, you know, you got into a good vault, you know, for the most part, you know, there's still gonna be an experiment regardless, but you understand my point. The Vault-Tec are the vault bad guys, right? They're not the guys who initiated the war in my head. And that's the thing that I really loved about it, was there's a lot of different layers to this world. There's a lot of different layers to the universe of Fallout. We have the bad guys on the surface who are different factions, right? You could see the Brotherhood as the bad guys. Some people see the NCR as the bad guys. A lot of people see the Caesar's Legion as the bad guys. House, so many different things. There are a lot of different people. I mean, you can't really see the Minutemen as the bad guys, but right? So there are so many factions that you could look at it from one way of like, oh, they're the good guys, and then another way you could look at them as, oh, they're the bad guys. I mean, Caesar's Legion, you can't, I don't think you could really see them as the good guys in any type of aspect, in my opinion, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You could see the good and evil, some more so than others, in each faction. So we got the bad guys of the surface post-war, and then I like how we have the bad guys of the pre-war and underground, I guess you could say. Pre and post-war, Vault-Tec is kind of the bridge that connects that evil, right? They are pre-war evil, and then they're also post-war evil because their experiments still live on in certain vaults. And then we still have the pre-war bad guys that are the China were the ones who were the original threat, right? That kind of stirred the pot for all of this in a way. And once again, I'm just saying there's so many different layers to the evils that go on in Fallout that I really liked. And I still like it, of course, but what I'm trying to say is I feel like they kind of just eliminated one of the evils, and like China was one of the big bads. And when I hear war never changes, my thought process immediately makes me think of all of this kicked off from the Great War between US and China in Fallout. But now when I think of war never changes originally, now I think of what originally kicked this off. Oh, just capitalism is bad, guys. Corporations are bad. You know, it wasn't really China. It's weird. It's just a whole complicated extra layer that didn't need to be there. And yeah, I said all these different layers, whatever, but it's an unneeded layer. We already have Vault-Tec as the vault bad guys, as the pre-war, because they gotta suck your money dry, get you into a vault, and you know, all that. And once again, I really just wanted to state that it's not the biggest deal. It's just something that kind of really rubs me the wrong way. Once again, also, big shouts out to Oxhorn. No hate, all love. Link in the description to his video. confirms a lot of factual information. Once again, he is incredible with presenting his lore. His video presents a lot of factual information showing that, once again, the video was to show who dropped the bombs first. The United States bombing, because if we see Mothership Zeta, the whole world is nuked. So his video was to talk about who bombed who first. You know, was it America who sent the bombs over to China first, or was it China who sent it to us first? That was the original point of the video that I took away from it. But then he got into the theories talking about, well, maybe it could be Vault-Tec and whatnot and all these different things. So once again, though, that's the theory portion of the video. In the beginning, he talks about the whole factual information that we have so far. So I just want people to take away from that although it, once again, has been stated many times in Fallout that, you know, the facts of who dropped what first doesn't matter. And I get that. But the whole point is, what I'm trying to say is, I have always been under the impression and believe, just based off of the factual information that we've seen, it was China who dropped the bombs in the United States and not Vault-Tec. But now there has been room given to the fact that, yes, Vault-Tec has done it, and it can be worked into the lore because there are a lot of vague spots left in the lore. But in my opinion, especially, and I would encourage you, go watch Oxhorn's video, he even goes over right at the beginning of the fact that, you know, the United States went on defense, all these different countermeasures went up, and just there are so many things that point towards it was China who did it. I'm someone more under the impression of, if I see something that's factually presented to us by the developers, I'm going to believe it. Theories, of course, I will accept theories, yes, right? But if factual information from the company who is making this, the studio, the game studio, the film studio now, whoever's presenting this information to me, I'm gonna believe the actual facts until more facts are given, unless there are actually like secrets that are left in there that are secrets but intended to be thrown in there to really nudge you in the direction like, hey, it really was Vault-Tec. But, you know, out in the public eye, we're gonna say it was, you know, China, but nah, it was Vault-Tec. So what I'm trying to say is, now the factual information that is being presented to me is that the TV show is saying that, hey, all along, it was Vault-Tec. It was Vault-Tec the entire time. Once again, things could change in the second season. We don't know for a fact yet, but that's the direction that it is likely going to go, in my opinion. I gotta say it a million times, guys. It is not the end of the world. I understand. It is okay. It doesn't really matter who did what first, or who, if it even was Vault-Tec. I just think that saying, you know, capitalism is evil and using that for Vault-Tec to be the reason why they did it is a little compared to actually using literal war, being terrifying and all that I feel like conveys a way bigger message to the viewer, especially now that we're seeing way more pre-war stuff visually rather than just reading about it in lore and whatnot. Also, the threat of literal nuclear war from another country rather than our own country doing it to ourselves, seeing China being the villains makes it feel way more of a scary factor, because in real life, nuclear threats from other countries is definitely a big scare to a lot of people. Having it be this like behind the scenes conspiracy theory that, like, you know, a lot of people might still believe in real life, that, you know, this conspiracy theory, we might nuke ourselves one day, whatever, you know, but it just seems way more unrealistic and unlikely compared to a literal other country doing it, because that is a modern day threat in real life, which gives way more of a terrifying factor to the games. Anyway, a big rant. I'm sure nobody made it to the end, so that's fine. It is what it is. Let me know if you made it to the end. I'm sure no one even watched this. I needed to get this out there. I needed to rant. All good. Check the description. Oxhorn's video is linked there, and thank you so much for watching. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, that's fine. Let me know why. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. It should be a lore video unless something else comes up. It's going to be based on the TV show, so I will see you there, hopefully. Peace.